So a couple years back, I was at this place called Great Wolf Lodge, and if you guys don't know what Great Wolf Lodge is, it's like this family entertainment place where there's like a bunch of little pools and areas for kids to go swimming. And I actually went there too far back with my not too far back with my family, but I was there when I was about 5 years old with a friend of mine, and it was his birthday, and we were there with a couple of other people. And this kid is a real small kid, but I guess you could say he was kind of a jerk, but I kind of thought he was cool. He was one of those kind of like jerks who was like, who had like all the cool stuff and was like, he was like a spoiled brat. And I went to his birthday party at this place, and there were about 4 or 5 other kids with me. And we were in the water park really late at night. It was like 10 o'clock, I think, because we had already been in the water park before, but we hadn't like actually done anything yet there. So we were like, you know what? Let's go actually like experience the fun. So we did a couple of these rides, and this kid seemed pretty cool, but he kept making fun of this big kid. And by big, I don't mean fat. I mean like really tall and built and muscular for a 5-year-old. He was like 80 pounds, and for a 5-year-old, that's massive in muscle. He had like a six pack, and I don't know, he was ripped for a 5-year-old, right? And he kept making fun of him for like lifting weights because his dad was a professional football player, a professional linebacker in the NFL. So he kept like making fun of his family and how built they were and ripped, and I thought it was awesome. I thought he was like my own bodyguard. But we were talking over at the table, and there were these lily pad things, and they were over at the side of the building, so there weren't too many lifeguards patrolling the area. So a bunch of kids would actually just go over there and mess around, shove each other in the water and stuff. And I'm talking about like older kids, like 15-year-olds, and people had like nothing else to do, right? So we all went over there, and the first kid, we're going to call him Quincy, since he's kind of like a small little guy. Quincy, I don't know. We're going to call him Quincy. And the beefy guy, we're going to call him Brett, since like that's like, I don't know. So, Brett is right behind me, and Quincy's in front of me. And keep in mind, there are other kids here. Like, I was here with a total of like 5 kids, not including me. So it was like a party of 6. And we were all in the line for this. And Quincy's going on this lily pad thing, and this 15-year-old shoves him. And Quincy gets up and starts trying to like hit the kid and stuff, and it's hilarious. And I noticed that Brett started like laughing a little. He thought it was pretty funny how Quincy was trying to take on this 15-year-old, right? And everyone thought it was pretty funny. I mean, this kid couldn't take on crap if he tried to. And so Quincy decides to leave and go to the wave pool, right? Because he's mad at Brett, and he's like, I don't want to be near you, Brett. It wasn't funny. That kid shoved me, which it wasn't. I mean, it was kind of rude for the kid to shove him, but it was hilarious how he tried to get back at him, right? So we all go over to the wave pool except Brett. I think Brett does the lily pad thing a couple of times. And we're doing this for like 5 minutes. We're just standing over in this wave pool, and it's like, woo, waves, hooray. We're in these inner tubes. And Quincy starts getting really ticked. Like, really mad. He's like, I can't believe Brett did that back there. I thought he was like supposed to be cool. Like, that's why I invited him, because he's like a cool guy. I was like, yeah, man, well, it was pretty funny. And he was like, no, it wasn't. And he screams, and everyone's looking at him. So Quincy's really going off. He's like, man. And Quincy actually goes like, man, I'm sorry. I mean, I guess it was a little funny. But he's like, but that still wasn't cool of Brett to do, right? So we're just talking about like how he could have taken it easy and how he didn't need to take it to an extreme, right? And Brett is still over at this lily pad thing having a ball with these bigger kids, because he could probably pretend to be like 20 years old and they would have believed him. But no, not really. But Quincy's over here and he's like, you know, guys, let's go back over to the lily pad. I just won't say anything to Brett. And we were all like, yeah, let's do that. Because we still wanted to hang out with Brett. Like, Brett was my best friend at the time. So we head back over, and I get in line in the same exact position again. Quincy's in front of me, Brett's behind me. We all, like, shake hands with Brett, like, give him high fives again. It's like, sup, dude. Quincy took it cool. And Brett seems like a little, like, nervous. Like, he doesn't feel very easy around Quincy. Like, I can't, like, he doesn't, I mean, I wouldn't either after what just happened. But, what we're doing is we're standing over here, and Brett ends up getting in line before Quincy to take him off. Like, cuts in line, which at the time, like, I don't know if you remember at elementary school, but that was the big thing I remember. Cutting in line, oh God, that is horrible. Like, you cannot cut in line. It's a sin. No, that's actually a really mean thing to say. It's a very bad thing to do. Let's put it that way. And he cuts in line, and Quincy's just like, yeah, man, you deserve it, and starts cracking up. And Brett's like, okay, it wasn't that funny. And Brett starts up on these lily pad things, and he gets across the first one, and then the second one, and he slips and falls. And then we never see Brett come back up. We never saw Brett come back up. And it's been like 5 seconds, that's it. And Quincy's like, all right, guys, I'm going to go now. And we didn't really think of it. Like, we didn't really think, like, oh, Brett never came up. Like, we weren't thinking about that. So, the 5 minutes goes by, and we're standing here, and Brett comes by. I mean, Brett does not come by. Brett's still under the water, and Quincy's standing on these things forever. Like, it's like 2 minutes of lily pad. It's ridiculous, because he cannot fall off. He's like a perfectionist at this, right? He's like Olympic. Like, you go, guys. I'm going to be the best at this ever. So, Quincy's doing this, and he falls off. And here's the weird thing. We didn't see Quincy, like, fall off, like, slipped. We saw Quincy, like, get yanked into the water. Like, this guy, like, immediately just fell face flat on this foam lily pad thing and smashed into the water. Like, a freaking, like, he had a 100-pound weight on his leg. Just, like, and slipped into the water. And we have no clue what's going on. And we just see the water where Quincy fell in flailing up. Like, it looks like fireworks are going off under the water. And it's going like 30 seconds, and we don't know what's going on. We think Quincy's like drowning or something. So we go to get the lifeguards. And the lifeguards come over, and they're like, yeah, what's the problem? And we're just standing there like, oh my God, our friend's drowning. Our friend's drowning. And I'm like, wait, Brett could get him out. Brett couldn't get him out. He's like huge. And we're all looking around for Brett, and we don't see Brett anywhere. And we're like, where's Brett? Where's Brett? And then it hits me. It hits me. It didn't hit anyone else. And I was just like, guys, get to the pool now. And sure enough, what the lifeguard ends up picking out of the water is a Brett and a Quincy. And a Brett that just held on to Quincy's leg, trying to kill him. Or hurt him badly. Or if you guys haven't made it out yet, Quincy was being drowned by Brett because Brett was ticked off. And I don't know how this all went down. I don't know. But all I know is that Quincy never deserved that for what he did. I mean, Brett should have never done that, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Leave a like if you thought that story was funny. I think that's just mind-blowing that like a 5-year-old would do that. But yeah, definitely leave a like if you liked the video, obviously. And I hit the subscribe button. Very first video ever on this channel. But I'm just taking an approach like we've been on this channel for 10 years. So thanks again, guys. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Peace out, guys.